and fans, welcome to the final hour of RWL Texas Thunder in Dallas, Texas. Don Hickson and the rest of the crew here to take you along through this third and final hour. Extremely exciting stuff ahead. 3 major big-time matches with championship implications.
Oh, Dandy Don, this has been like one of the best supercards I've ever been to. Oh, it has just been an absolute blast. I'm still having a great time.
Texas Thunder continues now, and up next, well sir, the Mexican Monolith Warlord Santos putting the King of Legends Championship on the line against the Sectarians Boogeyman, and backed up by John Van and Guy Cormier, the original.
This next match, set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, is for the RWL King of Legends Championship.
Welcome in, or following, our friends and allies, whom we know are here with us tonight. Those who pray for the sectarians to rule the darkness over our WL. We have become more aggressive in the last few weeks, with even our sacred Lilith joining the fight and destroying Tiana Marquez. Tiana is one of us now, not quite fully embracing our philosophy yet, but as it was with the late Naoko Hana, Tiana will be reborn soon. Watch for it, cause it's coming down fast, brothers and sisters in darkness. Let me turn my attention to you, Mr. Mexican Monolith. The Boogeyman's a legend big guy, and you're just a Johnny-come-lately next to Boogeyman. What kind of right you got to claim to be king of the Legend Division? Okay, so you beat Papa Shango last week, but this week, that King of Legends belt goes to a proper king. King Boogeyman, that is all, brothers and sisters.
Is he serious? Tiana Marquez, huge air quotes here, belongs to them now. He can't possibly be admitting what everyone's known all along, out in the open. Tex, what? The factual fugyo.
Another day, another internal investigation, GB. Oh, man.
And now out here, threatening Mr. Cerro Miedo. After the pasting Papa Shango took last week on Snarl, the sect totally stirring the pot on the eve of sweet revenge. Well, who didn't have this on their bingo card?
You know, Myron, you setting up the Boogeyman against Warlord Santos and a King of Legends title match, that's got your fingerprints all over it.
Guilty is charged, so let Boogeyman walk through the lion's den in pork chop underwear. What happened to Papa Shango last week is going to happen to Boogeyman this week, and that King of Legends title's not going anywhere, and everybody at ringside's behaving themselves because John Van and Guy Cormier are standing ringside with Warlord Santos. Pretty smart to keep Sylvia strong backstage, especially when you're dealing with the sectarians.
Warlord Santos keeping that busy schedule. The super heavyweight title last week, the King of Legends title this week. Guy's become one of the top dogs in the stronghold, and I gotta be honest, I don't see the Boogeyman doing this tonight. I'm sorry.
The Mexican Monolith absolutely taking the fight for the Sectarians, defending the King of Legends title this week.
The challenger, with Papa Shango and Kazmanson ringside representing the Sectarians, from parts unknown, weighing in this evening at 260 pounds, he is the Boogeyman. His opponent, accompanied by the RWL Undisputed World Tag Team Champions, the originals John Van and Guy Cormier. He hails from Hidalgo, Mexico. He stands 7 feet 2 inches in height and weighs in tonight at 496 pounds, representing the Stronghold. An RWL Dual Champion and the King of Legends Champion, the Mexican Monolith, Warlord Santos.
I don't like it one bit. Santos is fearless, and that's awesome. But it's not smart, giving these snakes one too many chances to bite his hand as he dangles his championships in front of him.
Charles Lacera, officiating this title match, displays the King of Legends Championship, and we are on our way.
We can but hope, Wally, the Mexican Monolith will perform as usual. All right, here we go. Lucero rings the bell. Santos charges. Misses the boogeyman. The boogeyman tags him with a couple of shots and a DDT. Down goes the Mexican Monolith. A quick cover here. One. Only a one. Well, quick pins just never work. Boogeyman rounds up the Mexican Monolith. Double ear clap backs Boogeyman off. Boogeyman with a quick counter up over the shoulders. Slams him down. That was a pretty powerful feat right there. Kaz Manson cheering on the Boogeyman. Big time power slam from Warlord Santos. I believe he's got the originals out here. Wow. Double X handle. Right to the back of the Boogeyman. Kick to the back of the head from Boogeyman. Boogeyman back up on his feet. Rounds up Warlord Santos. Warlord Santos counters. Suplex from the Mexican Monolith. Boogeyman steps outside for a break, but it is no good. Santos up on the top turnbuckle. Big time chop right to the head of the Boogeyman. Warlord Santos trying to unscrew that ugly head right off the Boogeyman. Slams his head down on the floor. Referee Charles Lucero's counting. Here's a stomp to the arm from Warlord Santos. Little choke slam right there. Little big choke slam from the Mexican Monolith. The Boogeyman back up on his feet. Santos gets a hold of him. Has him up over the... Oh, man, look at this. Head first into the apron goes the Boogeyman. He's not looking too impressive here. In this King of Legends Championship match, the Warlord Santos absolutely mopping up the floor like Mr. Clean on a good day. Moves in over the top rope. Boogeyman hasn't moved for a minute. Kaz Manson begging Warlord Santos not to kill his Boogeyman. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think he's going to listen. Santos countered by Boogeyman. Hip toss. Takes Santos down. A stomp to the face from the Boogeyman. Another stomp. Warlord Santos with a shot to the midsection. Goes behind on Boogeyman. A counter elbow from Boogeyman. Santos shoves him down to the canvas. Okay. Santos from behind has him up over the shoulders. Look at this big top slam right there. A stomp to the back of the head of the Boogeyman. Santos misses with the driving knee. Shoves the Boogeyman right back down again. Follows it up with a stomp right to the head of the Boogeyman. Warlord Santos. Middle rope. Big time crossbody splash across the back of the Boogeyman. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2. He will, sir, wrap this one up and take it on home. Warlord Santos is still the King of Legends champion.
The time was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Your winner and still King of Legends champion, Warlord Santos.
Well, ha-ha, ho-ho, and tee. What are the sectarians gonna do for an encore now that Santos has retained both his titles very quickly and made Shango, Boogeyman, and Kaz Manson look like the Three Stooges of Terror? I hope Kaz crawls back into his hole after that.
More Texas Thunder ahead, and up next, the RWL Ladies Tag Trio Championships on the line. Late Femme Fatale, Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Taylor Holly Combs defending the Ladies Tag Trio titles against the Angels of Anarchy.
The following 6-woman tag team match, set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Ladies Tag Trio Championships. First, the challengers. From Glen Falls, New York, Wendy O, Hardcore. From Salt Lake City, Utah, Nikki Judas, Hardcore. And from San Francisco, California, Heather Hardcore, the Angels of Anarchy.
This nasty bunch is back again. The foul-mouthed, rule-breaking hardcore blood sisterhood, the Angels, fresh off a weeks-long battle with American Powers, with the AOF holding the Women's World Tag Belts for 3 weeks, as the most unpopular champs ever. AP got him back, of course, but now the Angels set their sights on Les Femmes, and both these teams know how to fight, and they both like it. Ooh, this one looks to be a nasty matchup.
Well, I love a good 6-woman tag, and this one looks like it's definitely going to deliver the goods, Christy.
And it can't be overlooked that Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson are the Rage Ladies Tag Team Champions, and a win for the Angels of Anarchy could mean a shot at those belts too. A quick note here from both general managers: we're employing something like the Freebird rule, allowing Taylor Hollycombs to compete on behalf of the still on hiatus Dynamite Jeannie Parker.
Their opponents, from Washington, D.C. Jet Williams, from Raleigh, North Carolina Goddess Mimi Emerson, and from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Taylor Holly Combs, the Ladies Tag Trio Champions. Les Femmes Fatales.
Yes, indeed, the 7-year Queen Dynamite Jeannie Parker electing to sit out Texas Thunder, but well represented by Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Taylor Holly Combs, wrestling on her behalf tonight. Oh man, going up against the Angels of Anarchy, defending those Ladies Tag Trio Championships. This is liable to get really nasty, Christy.
You just know, the Angels are gonna get up to no good.
The Angels of Anarchy had those Ladies Tag Trio titles once. They'd love to get them back tonight. Nikki Judas Hardcore and Jet Williams starting this match off. Referee Tom Canamora rings the bell. They come center ring. Jet Williams locks up Nikki Judas Hardcore, whips her to the corner. Nikki counters with an elbow. A kick to the midsection, a chop, another kick to the midsection. Nikki Judas Hardcore with a series of short kicks to the head of Jet Williams. Jet Williams taken down with a hip toss. Nikki Judas Hardcore opening up strong here in this 6-woman tag. Hard Rod spins Jet Williams around. Nikki Judas Hardcore takes her down to the mat. Nikki setting it up here. Jet Williams just getting to us. Oh, here we go. Oh, jumping neckbreaker from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Just as Jet Williams was getting to her feet. Rolling senton to Jet Williams. Nikki Hardcore. Look at this. Standing on her head headlock on Jet Williams. I've got to give the devil their due. The AOA are talented. Jet Williams locked up. Jet counters with a kick. Takes down Nikki. Follows it up with a stomp. And a beautiful moonsault from Jet Williams. Jet rounds up Nikki Judas Hardcore. Hard whip to the far corner. Jet moves in. She's calling for it. Here comes the running bulldog. Smack center ring. Right into the heart of the logo. And here comes Goddess Mimi Emerson. Nikki Judas Hardcore laid out right where they left her. Here we go. Big time crossbody splash from Mimi and a cover 1, 2. But no. Nikki Hardcore catches another moonsault from Mimi off the top rope, and another. And here's another cover from Emerson. 1, 2. But no dice. Nikki Judas Hardcore still way too fresh. Rolls out of the way of Mimi Emerson. Goes behind on her. Has her all the way up. Atomic drop. Mimi Emerson back on her feet, but on the wrong side of town. Rounds up Nikki Hardcore. Takes her to the far corner. Smashes her head into the turnbuckle. Mimi Emerson catches a kick from Nikki. Nikki Hardcore locks up with Mimi. Look at this. Whoa! Look at this, man. A head scissor toss from Nikki Hardcore. Mimi Emerson rounded up by Nikki. Escorted to the Angels corner. Nikki Judas Hardcore smashes her head into the buckle a second time. A knee to the midsection. Nikki Hardcore looks like she's winding it up. There's the charge and a knee right to the chest of Mimi Emerson. Emerson gathered up again. Nikki Hardcore looks like she's... doesn't look like she's taking her anywhere in particular. She looks like she's just dragging her around by her hair just for the sake of humiliating Mimi Emerson. Yeah, she ain't... Oh, well, Mimi Emerson's had quite enough of that. A series of elbows disengages Nikki Hardcore. Mimi with a DDT slams Nikki's face right into the mat. Mimi Emerson steps out. Here comes Taylor Holly Combs. THC and Heather Hardcore, fresh partners. THC locks up, misses with a dropkick. Heather Hardcore locks her up, kick to the midsection. And a spinning neckbreaker. Into a nice splash from Heather Hardcore. Taylor Holly Combs getting to her feet as here comes Wendy O Hardcore for the first time. Taylor Holly Combs locks her up. Kick to the midsection to Wendy. Down she goes. THC rebounds off the ropes, misses with the moonsault. Wendy Hardcore countered by Taylor. They lock up. Wendy slams Taylor's head to the canvas. Wendy Hardcore opens up with a bunch of hard right hands to Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor counters with a kick to the head, a kick to the face, a kick to the knee. Oh man, Taylor Holly Combs rounds her up, slams down Wendy Hardcore face first into the canvas. THC steps out. Here comes Jet Williams again. Well, now, Les Femmes Fatales definitely doing the thing. Kick right to the midsection of Wendy Hardcore. Jet off the ropes. Another moonsault to Wendy Hardcore. Now Jet Williams back to her corner. Here comes Taylor Holly Combs again. Les Femmes Fatales absolutely playing with the Angels of Anarchy. THC with a series of kicks to Wendy. Drives a knee into the arm of Wendy Hardcore. Wendy gathered back up by Taylor. A hard right. Wendy counters. Taylor Holly Combs whipped to the far corner. Wendy Hardcore with a kick to the calf. Draped over the middle rope. Taylor Holly Combs locked up by Wendy again. Slammed face down. Face buster. And here comes Heather Hardcore again. Well, again, to their credit, the Angels of Anarchy very efficient as a tag team trio. Flip over neck whip from Heather Hardcore. Heather with a leg snap to Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor looking like she's in a little bit of trouble here. Momentum starting to shift over to the Angels. Kick to the midsection from Taylor Holly Combs. Taylor steps out. Here comes Jet Williams. Oh, man, Jet Williams misses with the swing. Heather Hardcore whips her over the top rope out onto the floor. Oh, referee Tom Kanamura starts the count. Here comes Wendy O Hardcore on the tag. Jet Williams back in the ring. Locks it up with Wendy. Wendy with elbows to Jet Williams. Wendy Hardcore slams Jet face first to the mat. Rolls her over. Rounds her up, but a sweep of the leg from Jet Williams. Jet with a stomp and a kick. Jet Williams drives a knee into the arm of Wendy Hardcore. Decides she's had enough. Here comes Goddess Mimi Emerson. And Wendy Hardcore still not to a standing position yet. A stomp to the face. Mimi off the bottom rope. Another moonsault. And here's a cover, but too close to the ropes. Referee calling for a break. A stomp to the midsection from Mimi Emerson. Now a rear chin lock. Now it's a submission. The referee checking it out. Wendy Hardcore in trouble here. Nikki Hardcore taken down by Jet Williams. Wendy Hardcore back on her feet. Locks up Mimi. Whips her out onto the floor. Wendy O Hardcore watching. Mimi Emerson is laid out. Again, the referee starts the count. Mimi Emerson makes her way back in over the top rope. Wendy counters Mimi. I've got her by the throat. This is going to be bad news. Slams her hard down to the mat. Mimi counters with a kick. Mimi Emerson going all the way topside. But Wendy Hardcore making the hot tag to Nikki Judas Hardcore. Mimi Emerson changes her mind about that hot risker. Nikki whipped out onto the apron. Wendy Hardcore. Mimi Emerson not finished with Wendy just yet. Nikki Judas Hardcore trying to stop it, but too late. Wendy Hardcore hung up on the middle rope. Nikki Judas Hardcore with a leg snap on Mimi Emerson. And already this one's gotten pretty wild. Mimi counters Nikki with a kick, a quick jab. And look at, Nikki Judas Hardcore countering whatever that was going to be from Mimi Emerson. Nikki locks Mimi up, whips her to the ropes, misses with her grapple. A knee to the midsection, a kick. Nikki Hardcore with a spinning neck breaker and a pretty nice splash on Mimi Emerson. Again, the ladies tag trio championships on the line here. Nikki Judas Hardcore drives Mimi into the turnbuckle. Nikki sets it up, a deadly dog to Mimi Emerson. Ow, man. Nikki Hardcore slams down Mimi Emerson hard, and here comes Heather Hardcore on the tag. Mimi Emerson starting to lose control of things here. For Les Femmes Fatales, a hard slap from Heather. A right, another slap. Mimi counters with an elbow, misses with the drop kick. Heather Hardcore gets a hold of her. There's another kick from Heather, and another spinning neckbreaker to Mimi, and another splash. These two teams just absolutely going bats. Nikki Judas Hardcore comes in on attack again. Nikki rounds up Mimi Emerson, a kick to the midsection. And a flip. Oh man, nice flip from Nikki Hardcore. Nikki covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. But no, Mimi Emerson finds her way out. Nikki Hardcore takes herself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Emerson just getting to her feet. Nikki nails her with a crossbody that almost missed the mark. Cover. 1, 2. Taylor, Holly Combs breaking that one up quick. Nikki goes after Taylor and whips Taylor Holly Combs to the outside. Returns to Mimi Emerson. A kick, a chop, and a Hurricane Rana. Mimi starting to take a lot of punishment. Here comes Heather Hardcore again. Mimi Emerson might want to consider tagging out. A kick to the head of Heather Hardcore. A stomp, a kick. Mimi tags in Jet Williams. Perhaps fortune will turn here. Jet Williams. Look at this. Heather Hardcore not quite done with Mimi, but Jet Williams interrupting the proceedings. Jet all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Looks like she's getting ready to go there on Heather Hardcore. And here it goes. Oh, man. Might have hurt herself doing that one. That one didn't quite land perfectly. But Heather Hardcore caught it, at least some of it. Jet rounds up Heather again, a hard forearm. Look at this. Tried for the dropkick, but Heather counters it and follows up with a stomp to the lower abdomen and a leg snap. The Angels of Anarchy trying to battle back here. Les Femmes Fatales trying to hold them back. Here comes Nikki Judas Hardcore again. Jet Williams rounded up. Pretty nice arm drag from Nikki Hardcore. Jet counters with a kick. Another beautiful spinning slam. A crossbody. Wait a minute here. Oh, look at this. Jet Williams stalking Nikki Judas Hardcore. Sets it up. Oh, man. Implant DDT just slammed her into the canvas. There's a Nikki Judas Hardcore sized dent in that ring. Jet Williams covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Wendy Hardcore just about saving this match for her team. Both Nikki and Jet missed their move. They lock up. Jet Williams snap suplex and a quick pin, but too close to the ropes. A little bit of chaos going on the outside. Goddess Mimi Emerson's tagged in. Nikki Judas Hardcore still laid out. There's a stomp from Mimi. Takes herself out onto the apron. Brings herself back inside. Decides she's going to go topside again. Nikki Hardcore catches a crossbody, and her midsection's got to be battered. Oh! Quick counter with the knees, saves her from another one. Nikki Hardcore with a DDT on Mimi Emerson. Here comes Heather Hardcore again. Wendy Hardcore still getting it together. Heather Hardcore with a judo toss on Mimi. Rounds Mimi up. Crashing brainbuster from Heather. Here comes Wendy O Hardcore again. And this match more than half over and still no sign of winner. Short DDT from Wendy. Wendy Hardcore stretching the arm of Mimi Emerson. Wendy starts punching. Hard right hands to the face of Mimi Emerson. Wendy steps out. Heather steps in again. And the momentum starts to shift to the Angels of Anarchy again. The ladies tag trio titles in jeopardy here. Heather Hardcore with a rolling elbow all the way up to the middle rope. Off the top rope. Beautiful. Whoa, look at this. Here's a cover. Tom Kanemaru. Whoa. Taylor Holly Combs right there to break it up. Wendy O Hardcore tags Taylor. They lock up. Taylor Holly Combs with a kick. Takes down Wendy. Mimi Emerson taken down by Heather Hardcore. Oh, real chaotic matchup. Heather misses with the dropkick. Mimi with a hard forearm takes Heather down. Mimi Emerson rounds up Heather Hardcore, misses with the dropkick. Hard shot to the gut of Heather Hardcore. Heather whipped to the corner. Mimi Emerson moves in. Kick to the leg of Heather Hardcore. Mimi locks her up. Look at this. Got the ankles going, and here goes the whirligig. Oh. Alright, well. Again, the momentum has shifted. And this 6-woman tag match as Taylor Holly Combs takes over for Les Femmes Fatales. Heather Hardcore catches a kick from Taylor. THC with a stomp. Heather Hardcore counters into a dragon screw. Taylor Holly Combs on the mat now all of a sudden. A pretty nice judo arm drag from Heather Hardcore. Heather whips Taylor to the ropes. Out over the top rope and out onto the wrong side of town. On the floor she goes. Taylor Holly Combs on the Angels of Anarchy side of the ring. As Heather Hardcore starts stretching Taylor's arm. Taylor counters with a kick to the head of Heather. They lock up. Taylor driven into the ring steps. Oh man. The referee has initiated the count. Taylor Holly Combs being stretched by Heather Hardcore. The Angels of Anarchy really taking, oh man, up against the barricades. Taylor Holly Combs in some significant trouble here at the hands of the extremely mean Heather Hardcore. A short clothesline takes Taylor down. Another moonsault from Heather Hardcore. The referee still counting. Taylor just shoved towards the ramp. Heather Hardcore finally satisfied, takes herself inside. Match 3/4 done and still no sign of a winner. Wow! These ladies with a whole bunch of endurance. It is unbelievable. Nikki Judas Hardcore tagged in as Taylor Holly Combs makes her way back inside. Locks up with Nikki, a kick. A spinning slam. Taylor Holly Combs beating it out of town. Here comes Jet Williams. We're down to less than 5 minutes. And this has been a wild one. Jet Williams off the bottom rope, another moonsault. And a quick cover from Jet. 1, 2. Wendy Hardcore messing things up again. Jet Williams. Oh, man. Wendy Hardcore puts on the brakes. Jet Williams goes behind on her. Slams her into the turnbuckle. Nikki Judas Hardcore is already laid out, but Jet Williams gonna lay it on Wendy too. A bulldog to her. Oh, man. Heather Hardcore, the only Angel of Anarchy in a standing position, Okay, I spoke too soon. Nikki Judas Hardcore stands herself back up. Here comes Mimi. Jet Williams catches a clothesline from Nikki Hardcore. Mimi locks up Nikki. Snap suplex. Mimi Emerson moves back in on Nikki Hardcore. There's another elbow to the arm. I'll tell you what, Nikki Judas Hardcore has taken a battering at the hands of Les Femmes Fatales. Mimi Emerson setting Nikki up for the whirly gig again. Spins her out towards center ring. Here comes THC. Taylor Holly Combs moves in on a laid out Nikki Judas Hardcore. Another moonsault, and here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Heather Hardcore foiling the pin again. Taylor Holly Combs whips Nikki out onto the apron. Gets a hold of her, a hard forearm. Nikki Hardcore stuck between the ropes, hung up on the middle rope, out onto the floor she goes. Taylor Holly Combs going topside here. Big time moonsault off the top rope, 10 feet up and 10 feet down, and here's another moonsault just in case the other 200. Oh man. Nikki Judas Hardcore going home sore tonight. Taylor Holly Combs with all kinds of shots and kicks and a jawjacker to Nikki Hardcore with less than 3 minutes to go. Into the ring post down, into the ring post down. Nikki Hardcore counters Taylor Holly Combs. They lock up. Counter kick from Taylor. Taylor Holly Combs rounds up Nikki Hardcore, takes herself back inside before the count gets her. Referee still counting Nikki Hardcore. Taylor Holly Combs doing a little bit of showing off. Decides she's going to take it back outside. Referee's going to have to start the count all over again. Taylor changes her mind, comes back in. Goes after Wendy, but gets countered. Nikki Judas Hardcore locks up Taylor Holly Combs. Slams her head first into the turnbuckle. Taylor Holly Combs counters with a kick. Escapes the corner. Locks up Nikki Judas Hardcore. Hard whip to the far corner to Nikki. Taylor slams her head first into the buckle. Turns her around, rounds her up. And again, snake eyes into the buckle. Nikki quickly back up on her feet. Locked up by Taylor Holly Combs. Another snap suplex from Taylor. Taylor steps out. Here comes Jet Williams. Man, we've got less than a minute and a half left. Somebody's going to have to give. Jet Williams on the top turnbuckle. Nikki Hardcore just getting to her feet. Here we go. Jet Williams misses with the high-risk maneuver. And we're less than 1 minute away from a time limit draw. Nikki Hardcore out on the apron. Jet Williams tags her with a shot. Has her between the ropes, hangs her up between the middle rope, and down she goes to the floor. Jet Williams steps out again. Mimi Emerson tagged in. There's just a little bit over 30 seconds to go. Look at this. Mimi Emerson doing a little bit of showing off here. Goes after Heather Hardcore. Tags her with a forearm. For this, she's going to do the same thing. Hangs her up off the middle rope. Down she goes. Less than 30 seconds to go. Mimi Emerson with Nikki Judas Hardcore head first into the turnbuckle again. Nikki escapes. Double knees right to the face of Nikki Hardcore. Mimi covers. 1, 2, 3 with 4 seconds to go. Shut up, Les Femmes Fatales with a big time win.
The time, 19 minutes and 56 seconds. Your winners, Les Femmes Fatales.
Ladies and gentlemen, Les Femmes Fatales becoming more and more increasingly amazing with the passing weeks and months. With only 4 seconds left, they come up with a win over the Angels of Anarchy to retain the Ladies Tag Trio Championships. What an amazing performance from Les Femmes Fatales. Jeannie Parker must be proud of her ladies. We'll be back with more RWL Texas Thunder right after this.
All right, and tonight's Texas Thunder main event, the Snarl Tag Team titles on the line. The Freak and the Wild Thing, the Psychedelics, defending the titles as the heat gets hotter between them and Eddie and Ray Guns, the Guns brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is tonight's Texas Thunder main event. One fall with a 20-minute time limit, and it's for the RWL Snarl Tag Team Championships. The challengers with Women's International Champion Angie Angel Guns from the Bronx, New York, at a combined weight of 467 pounds, Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns, and El Jefe Ray Guns, the Guns brothers.
Eddie and Ray have been back and forth between Snarl and Rage, facing the Psychedelics this third time around, this time for the Snarl Tag Team Champions. This is the one the Guns brothers have been waiting for.
Be a nice feather in the hat for the Guns family dynasty, what with Angie as new Women's International Champion. But the Freak and Wild Thing love to play the long game in title matches. Can Eddie and Ray keep up?
I guess we'll find out.
Their opponents, along with Sylvia Strong, at a combined weight of 482 pounds, from Paducah, Kentucky, the Freak, and from Staten Island, New York, Wild Thing Wayne Tay, the Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Psychedelics.
All right, Johnny, you're the guy with all the inside information on the Stronghold. What you got for this one?
The Psychedelics, and Sylvia for that matter, are sick of the Guns brothers, and Sylvia is pushing back, calling their bluff. With Freak and Wild Thing in agreement with placing the belts on the line. And here's the caveat. If the Guns brothers can't pull the trigger tonight, there isn't going to be a rematch clause. Sylvia specifically demanded it.
She demanded, darling. Right, she did. Man, GB, you are a pimp.
And this Tag Team Championship main event, certainly the icing on the cake, the cherry on the sundae of tonight's Texas Thunder Supercard.
It's absolutely true, Johnny. It's speak now or forever hold your peace. Forever being about 90 days for the Guns brothers. If they don't do it now, see you in 3 months. Well, good luck to Tom Kanemaru with the main event trick tonight. Well, this is gonna be a hot one. El Jefe and the Freak starting us off on this one. The ref rings the bell. They come center. Ray Guns with a kick to the Freak. Misses with the drop kick. The Freak tags him on the left. The Freak moves up on him. Oh, wrist clutch kick to the face for El Jefe. The Freak rebounds off the ropes, flying punch. Take Ray Guns down to the mat again. The Freak with mounted punches on El Jefe, followed up with a stomp. Rebound off the ropes again, another moonsault off the middle rope from the Freak. The Freak steps out. Wild Thing Wayne Tate comes in. Sylvia Strong having herself a grand night. Gary Galaxy picks up a win. Warlord Santos picks up a win. Looks like we're going to get a grand slam if the Freak and the Wild Thing can retain the Snarl Tag titles. El Jefe rounded up by Wild Thing. Sidewalk slam. Wild Thing Wayne Tate back on his feet. Here's a quick tag. Mr. Ringside rebounds off the ropes, misses with the flying punch, catches a stomp from Wild Thing Wayne Tate. The Wild Thing goes with a chin lock, but the ref orders the break. El Jefe laid out on the outside as Wild Thing Wayne Tate snaps the arm on Mr. Ringside. Here comes the Freak again on the tag. Eddie Guns back up on his feet. Locks up with the Freak kick to the midsection. Another kick from Mr. Ringside. The Freak counters with a forearm. Mr. Ringside counters with a kick. El Jefe finally up to a seated position at least. The Freak pitched to the outside. Out onto the floor. Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns just standing there. As the ref starts to count, never mind, he's starting to count all over again. Eddie Guns with a stomp to the Freak. And now a neck twist from Mr. Ringside, slams the Freak's head to the floor. Rounds him back up. Mr. Ringside with the Freak up over his shoulders. Head first into the apron. Down goes the Freak. The Freak rounded up again by Mr. Ringside. Eddie Guns. Eddie Guns deciding to beat it out of town. Rolls himself back inside. The referee continuing the count. Over the top rope we go, and no, that did not work out quite to plan. The Spanish announce team backing the hell off and hot, quick, and in a hurry. Mr. Ringside up against the barricades. The Freak trying to seize control of things here. The Freak rounds up Eddie Guns into the barricade. The Freak gathers him up again. Eddie Guns over the shoulders, but quick with the counter. A shot to the midsection to the Freak. Eddie Guns slams him into the apron, tags him with a shot to the back. Rounds him up. Up over the shoulders again. Oh, man. Oh, shoulder breaker from Eddie Guns. The Freak counters with a leg sweep. He's been out there a good chunk of time. The Freak decides so too, rolls in. Mr. Ringside snaps out of it, does a little bit of showboating. Gets himself back inside. The Freak goes behind. Wrist clutch clothesline to Mr. Ringside, and here comes Wild Thing Wayne Tig again. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the Snarl Tag Team Championships hanging in the balance here. Mr. Ringside trying to crawl to his corner as Angie Angel Guns looks on. Here comes El Jefe, Uncle Ray, to Angie Angel Guns. He's got Wild Thing Wayne Tig hung up over the shoulders and over the top rope and out onto the floor. Goes Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Over the top rope goes El Jefe. Moves in on the Wild Thing. Gets him back inside. Wild Thing Wayne Tig back up on his feet. Locks up with El Jefe. Knee to the midsection. Ray Guns rounded up over the shoulder of Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Slammed down to the canvas hard. Tig tags out. Here comes the Freak again. Both teams tagging real efficiently. The Freak opens up with a series of shots. Misses with that kick. Counters with a shot to the midsection. Locks up El Jefe. Whips him to the far corner. A kick to the ribs. The Freak turns him around head first into the turnbuckle. Ray Guns catching it from the Freak. Another shot into the buckle for Ray Guns. A kick and another. Down goes El Jefe. The Freak just putting the boots to El Jefe. Ray Guns putting all his weight into it. Look at this handstand off the top ropes. Boom, both knees right into the chest. And the Freak doing a little bit of showboating of his own. Well, now this one's been good so far. The Freak with El Jefe head first into the turnbuckle. Starts driving knees into the midsection of El Jefe Ray Guns. The Freak again, just relentless, leaving all kind of boot prints on El Jefe Ray Guns. Ray Guns gets the hell out of the way and rolls him up. Look at this. That was kind of cool. Ray Guns with a little do the hustle, slams him face first. Nice DDT. A kick to the ribs before he beats it out of town, and here comes Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns. He moves in on the Freak. The Freak with those running forearms locks up Mr. Ringside. Takes him back to the Psychedelics corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Wild Thing Wayne Tig tagged in. Here comes the double team from the Psychedelics. Mr. Ringside whip to the ropes. Double shoulder tackle as Wild Thing Wayne Tig takes over for the Psychedelics. Mounted punches followed up with a stomp from Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Mr. Ringside laid out center ring. Wild Thing up on the top turnbuckle in the far corner as Mr. Ringside stands himself on up. Wild Thing changes his mind on the high-risk maneuver. Decides to go for something basic. Has him up over the shoulders, head first into the turnbuckle again. Both these teams starting to get intimate with those turnbuckles. The Freak gets tagged in. Eddie Guns catches a knee And a kick to the back of the head. Nicely done by the Freak. The Freak rounds up Mr. Ringside. Whoa! A spinning punch that just knocked him. Oh, man. Gotta put his lights out. A series of short kicks to the head. Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns catching a battering here. The Freak, double boot stomp right to the gut of Eddie Guns. The Freak steps out. Here comes Wild Thing Wayne Tig again. The Snarl Tag Team Champions working like a well-oiled machine for sure. More mounted punches from the Wild Thing. Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns busted wide open by the Freak. Wild Thing battering the head of Mr. Ringside against the mat. Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Look at this. Got him set up over the shoulders and into a torture rack. Right in the middle of the ring, the Freak kicks down El Jefe. The referee checking things out. We could get a submission right here. Mr. Ringside says, oh, no, you don't. Series of elbows. Backs off Wild Thing Wayne Tig. A charge, misses with the kick. Wild Thing Wayne Tig kicks him to the midsection. Winds him up. Falling neckbreaker. Wild Thing Wayne Tig steps out. Here comes the Freak again. And for the moment, the momentum seems to have shifted over to the Psychedelics. The Freak with a stomp, but Eddie Guns. Oh! Knee to the midsection and another spinning kick to the back of the head from the Freak. From Mr. Ringside. The Freak steps out. Wild Thing steps in again. Oh, never gets boring around here, does it? Again, with the mounted punches on Mr. Ringside, and he has taken a beating. He's really going to have to find his tag team partner wherever the hell he is right now. Wild Thing off the top rope, big time crossbody. Mr. Ringside in trouble here as Wild Thing covers, but wait a minute, what the hell happened here? Did he kick out? Wild Thing goes for the cover again. 1, 2, no, not even a 2. About a 1.1. Eddie Guns kicking out. Wild Thing rounds him up. Short arm clothesline. Quick step over. Rounds him up again. Another wrist clutch clothesline. One more step over. And one more clothesline. El Jefe Ray Guns is out to lunch. Eddie Guns on his own as he turns the mounted punches on Wild Thing Wayne Tig. The Wild Thing rolled up by Mr. Ringside. That was kind of neat. Oh! Spinning Death Valley Driver. Wild Thing Wayne Tig definitely got the wind knocked out of him on that one. Angie Angel Guns looking on. Wrist clutch, baby steps to the Wild Thing. El Jefe Ray Guns needs to get it together, get back to his tag corner. Mr. Ringside having to do it all his own against the Wild Thing. Eddie Guns covers, hooks the leg. 1. Oh, man. Wild Thing Wayne Tig powering out. Here comes El Jefe again. Wayne Tig back up on his feet. Charges, misses with the clothesline. El Jefe Ray Guns goes behind. Turns him around. Has him up in the front cradle. Walks him over to the ropes. Hangs him up off the top rope. El Jefe covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Another near fall. In this Snarl Tag Team title match. And the rivalry between the Psychedelics and the Guns Brothers just seems to keep getting hotter and hotter. El Jefe with the Wild Thing snap suplex. Center ring. El Jefe off the top rope. Big time moonsault. Right across the midsection of Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Tig rounded up again. A Hurricane Rana from El Jefe. Doesn't do a lot of lucha libre stuff, but he knows how. El Jefe with a spinning slam and a quick cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. That's the Wild Thing getting the left shoulder up. An elbow to El Jefe. Wild Thing Wayne Tig with a belly-to-belly suplex on Ray Guns. Wayne Tig steps out. Here comes the Freak again. What a tag team matchup we have had so far. Ray Guns gets the ankles going around the Freak, and here we go, another whirligig. The Freak taking a free ride there. Here comes Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns on the tag. Moves in on the Freak, misses with the kick. The Freak misses with his kick. They lock up. Eddie Guns with the Freak up in the front cradle. Up over the shoulders, hung up on the top rope. Again. And now a blatant choke as the hostility between the two teams starts to really escalate. With the match just about half over, El Jefe Ray Guns comes in on the tag. The Freak with a running spear. Woof! And here's a cover. 1, 2. But no. El Jefe finds his way out of a spot here. Wrist clutch kicks to the ribs from the Freak. A running forearm. El Jefe back up to a standing position here. The Freak rebounds off the ropes, misses with the flying punch. El Jefe rounds the Freak up. Kick to the midsection. El Jefe winds up the arm on the Freak. He's going to take him walkies off the top rope. Arm drag, beautifully executed by El Jefe Ray Guns. Okay. Here comes Mr. Ringside again. And now the Guns brothers starting to take control back from the Psychodelics here. Eddie Guns with knees to the midsection of the Freak. He is busted open bad. Here comes El Jefe Ray Guns again as he takes over for the Guns brothers. Locks up the Freak. Hard forearm takes him down. Ray Guns with a stomp. Rounds the Freak up center ring. They lock up. Escorted to the Guns brothers corner. El Jefe's changing his mind about it. Doesn't know where he wants to go. But the Freak's not going anywhere. A series of elbows backs him off. They lock up. The Freak with Ray Guns up over the shoulders, walks him to the other side of the ring, has him up in the powerbomb position. Oh! Well, now. El Jefe with a crashing ride that I'm sure he did not appreciate. The Freak power bombs him out onto the floor. El Jefe indicating to the fans that he's still all right. The Freak catches an elbow from Ray Guns. The Freak with a kick to Ray Guns. They lock up. The Freak with driving knees into El Jefe as the referee continues to count. The Freak opens up with a series of punches and kicks, a double shot. Bouncing Ray Guns off the apron. He has got him just reeling. Man. El Jefe just being bounced around like a pinball off bumper. The Freak is going 7 counts of crazy on El Jefe on the outside as the referee continues to count. The Snarl Tag Team Champions back in control of things. The Freak doing all kinds of shadow boxing. El Jefe seeing the pretty stars and hearing the pretty birdies. The Freak goes back out after him. Slams him head first into the apron. El Jefe quickly steps over the ring steps, says, I've had about enough of the outside, takes himself back into the ring. He's still got the moxie to still be showing off. The Freak back inside, quickly taken down by El Jefe, and here we go. This is what he was planning all the time. The figure 4 leg lock on the Freak. Stuck center ring with absolutely nowhere to go. Referee Tom Canamora checking it out, but the Freak turns it around on El Jefe and somehow finds his way out of the figure 4 leg lock submission. Back up on his feet. Locks up with Ray Guns. El Jefe again with the ankles around the head of the Freak. Here's another whirly gig. And he's got to be nauseous by now. Mr. Ringside, Eddie Guns, comes in on the tag. Angie Angel Guns just having a great time watching her dad and her uncle work. They'd love to get those Snarl Tag titles. Mr. Ringside with a kick to the midsection to the Freak. And here it is, the Flatliner. This could be the end right here. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Shut up! The Freak powering out, back up on his feet. A running spear to Mr. Ringside. And here's a cover. 1, 2. Another near fall. Whoa. Now, the Freak makes his way to the middle rope. Mr. Ringside laid out. There's a driving knee right into the chest of Eddie Guns. El Jefe and Wild Thing Wayne take on the outside. A dragon screw from Eddie Guns. A blatant choke on the Freak. Wild Thing Wayne take just whipping the tar out of El Jefe on the outside. Eddie Guns with a driving knee into the arm of the Freak, a kick to the back. The Freak back up to a standing position, a running punch. Wild Thing Wayne Teague with El Jefe over the shoulders, running power slam. The Freak covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Oh, whoa. Whoa now. With less than 5 minutes to go here, this one's nuts. Hard shot from Eddie Guns. A counter kick from the Freak. A counter kick from Mr. Ringside. The Freak counters Eddie Guns. The Freak again opens up with that series of shots and kicks. Down goes Mr. Ringside. Wild Thing Wayne Teague comes in on the tag. What a match. Unbelievable. Wild Thing Wayne Teague stalking Eddie Guns. Has him set up over the shoulder. He's setting him up with a tombstone pile driver, and that's just about it right there. Wild Thing Wayne Teague covers. 1, 2, 3, and the Psychedelics retain the Snarl Tag Team Championships over the Guns Brothers.
The time was exactly 16 minutes. Your winners and still Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Psychedelics.
Well, it has certainly been a night of buzzer beaters. And in the main event, the Psychedelics not disappointing in that department, retaining the Snarl Tag Team Championships over the Guns Brothers, who will now have to wait 3 months for another opportunity. What a main event and what a Texas Thunder Supercard it has been.
Fans, we had a great time bringing you tonight's Texas Thunder card. And now, with the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour officially in effect, every card is a Sweet Revenge card till Labor Day. Thanks to all of you for blessing the channel with 682 subscribers, over 5,400 videos available, and our WL has been viewed over 300,000 times. A huge vote of thanks, everybody. We'll be back Saturday, July 5th with the Independence Day weekend edition of Snarl. For the whole gang, this is Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe. See you next time.